Hello and welcome back to On Screen, Off Screen. Uh, this is gonna be a fun episode. I've got a good feeling. It's gonna be fun. Uh, I'm gonna go ahead and get started with my next topic, or my topic. Uh, 911. I watched 911 Lone Star quite a while ago and very much enjoyed it. Uh,
Okay.
how much do you know about 911?
This is not my kind of show at all.
Okay.
Like, not even a
So,
little bit.
do you know what it is?
Uh, it, I know that I've seen a little bit of it, but I get all these
Okay.
shows mixed up, like the NCIS and the Fire Chicago and all that stuff.
Okay. So 911 is trying to take the perspective of the 911 operator, the fire department, and the police response all kind of together. They don't do a good job with it. It is overly dramatic for the sake of being overly dramatic.
Okay.
Previously, I talked about American Made, about how why not just use real life because real life is interesting enough. I kind of feel that way about this show. Um,
Okay.
and they definitely could do a better job with it, especially when one of the characters gets a rebar through the middle of his forehead out the back, survives, and goes back to work.
So stupid.
I agree with you. It's so unbelievably stupid. It's so dumb. Yes, if anybody is listening, I do know that people have survived gunshot wounds to the head. I do know of the story of the guy who had one of the mining rods go through his head. There is another story of a guy who actually gets a piece of rebar go through his head. Here's the problem, though. Every single one of those people deals with some massive issue, whether it's memory, motor function, or both. A guy who had the mining rod through his brain had speech impediment. He could barely communicate to anybody. He had no short term memory at all. And yet you're telling me that this paramedic guy crashes his car, has a piece of rebar sticking through his head, and a month later he goes back to work as a paramedic? No, nobody would allow that. Literally nobody. Every single person would be like, dude,
You need a little bit more time.
you are not okay to go save people's lives, right? Like, I don't even buy that he would be back to normal ever, much less like a month later. So that's the kind of show that we're talking about here. Um, there's one character I really don't like. Her name's Henrietta. Her entire personality is advocate,
It
advocate,
drives me
activist.
nuts.
So every time she speaks, she's talking about animal rights, feminism, whatever activist thing. It's like her entire character is just to placehold activists. She's going to be all of them. She's lesbian. She has a kid. She used to date a drug. Like, her entire personality is just
Everything.
like, substitute activist here. Insert activist line here. It's got to come from her. And it starts
That's
very
frustrating.
early on that I'm like, oh my gosh, did you really just say that? So it's like in episode 1. There's a snake killing a girl, like straight up wrapped around her neck, strangling her. And she knows enough about snakes to know that this girl is going to die in minutes. And so the butch douchebag guy, Buck, says, should I kill it? And she goes, no, it's an animal. It deserves life. No, that animal is killing someone. It is killing a person. It does not deserve life. When a dog bites a person twice, what do you legally have to do in most states?
Put it down.
This
Get
is
rid of the
like
snake.
some giant snake. I know I hate snakes and I really don't care about a snake's life, but this is why I don't care about a snake's life.
Yeah, it's like what's the monkey in the zoo? I can't remember the monkey's name that had the kid. You remember this?
Wow. I just blanked. I cannot think of it.
You know what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they wait like 20 minutes to shoot the monkey, and he is throwing this kid around like a freaking rag doll. This kid is getting smashed. You shoot that freaking monkey. I
Yeah.
don't care.
Yeah. Um,
And I love
so
monkeys.
it's
Shoot the monkey.
yeah. So it's got that character. Uh, for the kind of show it is, I was surprised. There's the captain and the police lady, and they start dating between seasons.
Okay.
And
Weird.
like you would totally expect that to be part of the show and the way they interact. And oh my gosh, she asked her out. But no, they're just
Especially
like
for a show like this.
between season 1 and season 2, they're just dating now, and you just have to accept it. But it was
Weird.
absolutely the right call, I think, in this case. So I guess I'm wrong. It's just unexpected. Um, but here's what I really want to talk about. In season 3, there is a heist episode.
Okay.
This episode is better than most heist movies in terms of logic of the heist.
Really?
Oh yeah. I was
Huh.
really into it. They did a phenomenal job with this heist. So what they did is they had a group of people uh, dress up as cops, and they
Okay.
went into the 911 operator area, and they held it hostage. And then they used that to direct all of the police away from the museum and to not notify them that the museum alarm had gone off. And then they
Interesting.
had 2 people go into a museum and start stealing the art.
That's pretty cool.
I was like,
That's
and
pretty
this
cool.
show is so well thought out. Like, yes, there are some logic flaws, but normally when I'm watching a heist movie, I'm like, there's like 20 logic flaws. And then this one has like 2. And this
That's
show has
pretty
no
awesome
reason to
to
have
be that
such a
good.
good heist episode. None. Like, holy crap. And there's a twist in it that is so good. So good. Like, I wouldn't recommend that you watch this show, honestly. It is not your kind of show at all. I think your wife might get into it, but I wouldn't
She
really
would.
recommend that you like this show. Watch this show, but I would recommend that you watch this episode.
That one episode. Okay.
That one episode, you don't need to know anything about the characters. And at the very least, Jennifer Love Hewitt, who plays Ghost Whisperer, is in it. So you at least
She
have to look at her.
is super hot.
Yeah.
Is she
So
in the show all the way around, or is she just that one
no,
episode?
she joins in season 2.
Okay, cool, cool.
So they had a 911 operator that was played by the mom, the coach's wife in Friday Night Lights.
Okay.
And she gets into a romantic relationship with Buck, the young gun, hot guy who's the risk taker guy. And
Okay.
it just feels super uncomfortable. And they try and make it this like super serious like relationship. And literally I was like, she was playing a mom on TV to a teenager when this guy was born.
That's funny.
I don't know if it's exactly, but pretty freaking close.
Pretty
Like,
close.
yeah, she was a mom to a teenager in Friday Night Lights in the early 2000s. This guy's like 25. So, anyway, so she ends up leaving the show at the end of season 1, and they bring in Jennifer Love Hewitt as her replacement in season 2.
Okay.
She's been in the show since. She actually plays that guy's sister.
Interesting.
So that's how they introduce her to the show. Is she comes back as Buck's sister, which doesn't really matter. You don't, like I said, you don't need to know anything about any of these characters. You're gonna recognize them all when you see them.
Okay.
There's the captain guy who's the been there, done that, always right guy. There's the activist girl. You'll recognize her. There's her best friend and Jennifer Love Hewitt's romantic interest. There's the 2 hot guys who are there just to do crazy things and be attractive. And they're just everybody in this show is a walking red flag. Every single one of them. And like I have a friend who's the reason that I'm watching this, and she's like really into Buck and Eddie. This
Okay.
is the same friend who's really into Asterion. I was like,
Okay.
stop being into these walking red flags. These are terrible human beings. I don't care. But yeah, this heist episode, like I said, season 3, episode 14, definitely worth watching. It's just an episode of TV, so it's not super long, and it's an extremely well thought out heist.
Cool. I will watch it. Is what's it on? Do
Hulu.
you know? It's on Hulu? Okay, cool. I have
Yeah.
Hulu. I get on.
Very, very good.
Okay, man. I will give it a shot. I will absolutely try that.
All right, what
All
do you
right,
got
dude.
for us?
So I went on Reddit because I like a lot of Netflix animated shows, like a lot of them. I think they're really good. Carmen Sandiego show, the How to Train Your Dragon, Arcane, BoJack Horseman, a lot of these shows, really well done. And I looked up best shows on Netflix, and there was a show called Centaur World that got brought up over and over and over and over again, more than anything else. And this show sucks. I wish I liked it. If there's a character that's named Horse, and it's at the very beginning of the show. You've got the rider and you've got the horse, and they're battling against evil, and they're absolutely losing. And they have a talisman, and the talisman sends Horse to an alternate world where centaurs are real. And in this world, Horse has a voice and is able to speak, and the centaurs all have a voice. The talent that is on this show is really, really good. Their singing capabilities are fantastic. Horse, if there was just a show about Horse, I would watch it because I find the character interesting, and the person who voices Horse, who is it? Let me look really quick. Megan Dong has a oh no, it's Kimiko Glenn. Kimiko Glenn has a beautiful voice. Her singing voice is gorgeous. Some of the other singing is really, really good. There's like Tony winners and people that are voicing these characters. The problem is the other centaurs are all so freaking annoying. All of them. And I want to like this show because there's aspects that are funny and the songs are really good. But then I get stupid, I'm a gay horse zebra centaur thing that just won't shut up. It's so annoying. And then you have another one that like shoots mini versions of itself out of its paws, and it's so stupid. I don't. Some of the other recommendations that these guys had of like Arcane and How to Train Your Dragon, things that I love, were recommended along the same list as this show, and I don't get it. I'm not the like Adventure Time isn't my favorite thing. It has an Adventure Time kind of feel, but it's just so stupid. And I wish that I liked it more because the songs are bangers. Horse is interesting, but the centaurs suck.
So I actually looked into watching this once upon a time.
Okay.
One of our mutual friends has seen it, and I'm very curious as to what she thinks to your reaction. But I believe she enjoyed this show. She really enjoyed the music, and she really enjoyed the animation.
The animation was
Um,
really good.
I think she's on the same wavelength that the other characters really aren't great. Um, but she also does like Adventure Time as well, so
Uh,
could just be a different wavelength there.
I don't hate Adventure Time. There is a side character in this show that I hate. Like yellow hair, demon slayer hate. I do not like this character.
So it sounds to me, I was gonna bring that up, that you're on the same wavelength with this show as I am with the Demon Slayer.
Yeah, yeah, there's good in it, but it's just that those some of those characters are just awful.
Okay, fair enough. I am still not sold on this show. Maybe one day if I'm really, really, really bored, I might turn it on, but I don't know.
I think what I'm gonna do and what I would recommend to people is just watch the music. I'm sure there's a YouTube compilation. Music is great. A lot of it is really, really good. Just watch that and don't watch the rest of the show because then you can avoid that stupid ass character.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Maybe I will do that. Okay, I want to change gears a little bit. Something
Okay.
we don't normally talk about.
All right.
You have quite the hot take I want to talk about. What is your
Okay.
most overrated chain restaurant of all time?
By far, Panda Express. Absolutely, Panda Express.
And why is it Panda Express for our viewers,
Okay,
listeners?
so there are billions and billions and billions of Chinese people, right? China kind of sucks. So all these Chinese people leave China. And you know what these Chinese people do? They make restaurants, a lot of restaurants. So you can go in Bohick, middle of nowhere, and all there is like 12 farmers and a Chinese restaurant. And that Chinese restaurant will be cheaper, better, and more food than Panda. Why would you ever go to Panda? And these Chinese restaurants are everywhere. I know you, viewer, have seen a Chinese restaurant near you. I promise you have. And it is better, cheaper, and has more food than Panda. Panda is sucks.
Okay. Just so we can even that out a little bit. Listeners, put in your vote. Let us know. My most overrated restaurant is KFC. And that's because I would rather go lick the ground at the Great Salt Lake than I would eat a KFC anything. Uh how is it a chain restaurant? I don't know. It's horrible. And that's why I hate it. I think Panda Express is overrated for those exact same reasons, but it is still edible. But you know that a chain restaurant is big if there is one here in Kona, Hawaii, where I live. We have a Subway, we have a Burger King, we have a Taco Bell, we have a Panda Express, and we have a Jack in the Box.
You don't have a Wendy's?
No Wendy's.
Huh. That's
No
a little
Wendy's, no
surprising.
McDonald's. Um,
That's also surprising. McDonald's is even more surprising.
yeah, yeah. I was surprised there wasn't a Chick-fil-A, honestly. Uh,
Yeah,
but Jack in the Box is on your list of overrated restaurants. Where
absolutely.
would it fall? I know we've talked about Panda Express before. I know we're kind of on the same page with In and Out, a little bit different because I think it's super overrated and shouldn't be. And you just think it's not worth the wait. Where does Jack in the Box fall?
I actually was really convinced by your KFC argument, and I like their corn. I like their corn,
It's not good corn.
and I like their
Everything is
chicken.
their chicken. Anything is horrible. I
I
will
like
die on this hill. It's
I like
terrible.
I like their chicken gravy bowl things. I actually enjoy those. I do enjoy those. But
Their
other than
chicken is
that,
has more salt than the entire Great Salt Lake.
but you have the potatoes to kind of even it
No,
out a little
you
bit.
don't. It's horrible. It
I
is
don't think
terrible.
the chicken bowl gravy bowls I kind of like.
Ugh.
But your argument that you gave to me one time where it's kind of the same situation where you have grocery stores and they have
Yeah,
all this stuff is a great argument and made me raise it up. It would probably be my number
yeah.
2 because of that.
KFC is terrible, and you can go to Walmart, Harmon's,
Whatever.
Peterson's,
And all the chicken is better.
whatever, and you can get a 8-piece or 12-piece or whatever, and it's not going to taste like you just licked the ground at the Great Salt Lake. It's actually going to be good. And I think like Harmon's is like $5 for an 8-piece.
It's
So
cheaper.
like when I would be a fat ass, I would go buy an entire 8-piece and drive home and eat it all because it's only $5.
That's pretty tasty.
It's so good. You just eat the whole thing. You feel gross doing it, and you feel nasty afterwards, but it was good. KFC's terrible. It's horrible. There's even a KFC here. I don't know how they're open for business. I've never seen a single person in the drive-through.
So most of their food, I agree, is terrible. I do like those couple things, and I like their cornbread pretty well. Is there anything else I really like there? No, I would rather go to a grocery store. So it would probably be my number two. My number three, would it be Jack in the Box? Really don't like Jack in the Box. One second. I gotta look up a list of fast food restaurants real quick.
Okay. In and Out. Where does In and Out fall while you're looking?
So In and Out would be a little bit lower because I genuinely do like their burgers and I like their pink lemonade. Their fries are just whatever. They're not very good in my opinion, but they're not terrible. They're just whatever. When I go there, I just get 2 burgers. That's what I get there, and a pink lemonade. I usually don't drink soda and stuff very much anymore, but I love their pink lemonade. Legitimately, really enjoy it. So there's things there that I actually really like, you know. But Burger King would have to go up on there. I'd have to think about that one because I don't think Burger King's very good.
Burger King is so underrated. It is so good.
I haven't been there in a really long time, be completely honest. McDonald's I don't like at all. Taco Bell sucks. Pan Express is the worst. I like Del Taco actually pretty well, but I don't love Taco Bell. That's so interesting.
Del Taco is like the Utah version of Mexican food. It's like they made Mexican food but forgot to season it. It is bland and terrible.
Domino's is number 3. I think Domino's is so overrated. There's just other pizza places that are fast pizza places that are better. By the way, Marco's is the best version of that. It just is. It's the best one.
Marco's is like twice as expensive.
I don't. Is it really twice as expensive?
I used to buy Marco's for our game night.
Yeah. This is an unpopular opinion, but I legitimately would rather have Little Caesars than Domino's. For real. I don't. Domino's is not terrible food. It's just wildly overrated.
I think it's saved by its crust, but
Pizza Hut is not very good, but I don't feel like anyone ever talks about Pizza Hut. I feel like it's kind of a forgotten brand. So it'd be probably Domino's, and then Jack in the Box would be number 4.
Okay. I like Jack in the Box.
You do?
I do.
Okay, interesting. I'm going to try it again because my brother-in-law loves their tacos. Like, loves them. So I'm going to try the tacos. I was not impressed with their burger and fries any of the 3 times that I went at all.
I had a burger and fries. That's what I had. I've only been there the one time. And here is my review.
Okay.
Its burger was above average for a chain restaurant.
Interesting. All right.
I preferred their burger over the Burger King burger. Slightly. Okay. Just slightly. Okay. I do like the Burger King burger. I like their fries a lot more than any other restaurant.
Any?
I cannot think of a chain restaurant that does better fries than Jack in the Box.
Wendy's. Wendy's has great fries.
Wendy's is terrible.
What are you talking about?
Awful fries. Wendy's had good fries. Wendy's had good fries, but every time I've had Wendy's in the last 3 years, it has been nothing but mushy garbage.
I've had great fries. I love Wendy's fries. Legitimately love them.
Wendy's fries could be the top if they weren't mushy. I
But when
like
they're
that they use
mushy, they're
real
just
potatoes, and
terrible.
I like that they use sea salt. But to have a good fry, to me, and I'm not a fry person, I usually never finish my fries. Fries are not really my thing.
I love
But to
fries.
have a good fry, you have to have it
Gotta have that
soft in the
crisp.
middle, crisp on the outside, not burnt, crisp. Burnt is the opposite problem. I hate burnt things. I don't like my bacon crispy. I don't want to taste ash. I want to taste the thing. But that's what Jack in the Box was. It was a perfectly baked fry with some salt.
Okay.
I
Maybe
really
I
liked
just
it. I
had
was
bad
like, oh,
experiences 3 times in a row.
yeah. I my other problem with Jack in the Box is there's too many things on the menu.
There's a lot of things on the menu.
I went up to the drive-through and I was like, I've never been here before. What do you recommend? Because I do that all the time now. And
Yeah.
I could not hear what they said because their speaker sucked. Literally could not tell you if they told me to drive forward. I gave them my order and pulled forward because I could not hear a word coming out of that speaker. I could tell that something was being said, but not what those words were. I was like, "Oh, I'll have this," and then I was like, "Wait, no, I'll actually have this, but can you add bacon like the other burger has?" And then I pulled forward, and I was eating the fries on my way home, and I was like, "Holy crap, these are good fries!"
Hmm.
And then I had the burger, and I was like, I admit, not the best burger in the world. I myself can make a better burger than that with less ingredients.
But
I
not terrible.
often just make a burger with some cheese and some sauce and pickles. Like and that's a more enjoyable burger for me.
Yeah.
But this was pretty good. Like
Okay.
if I had to choose between like the Wendy's Dave's single with bacon and this burger, I'd probably be 50-50. Like half the time take this one, half the time take
Wow.
that one. Not bad at all. If you made it the Dave's double, because I think that adds enough meat to make that one better, I would definitely go with Wendy's every time. But if you're
Okay.
talking about just that single thin patty, then yeah, toss up. I don't really care between the two. It was enjoyable. It was good.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I
I liked it. It was good.
I'm gonna go back for those tacos just because literally they're my brother-in-law's favorite thing like in the world. Otherwise, there was no way I would ever go back to that restaurant ever again.
I'm interested to try their tacos because you say that. Because like I thought the burger was pretty good. I thought the fries were great. Uh, Dungeons and Daddies, their Patreon version, they actually had this conversation fairly recently.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, and they brought up Jack in the Box, and they were like, "Well, Jack in the Box is perfect for what it is, and it's for when I get high and I've got the munchies. I can go there and I can be like, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, that sounds good." And
I
I
feel like
think
for
that
me that
there's
would
a
be
point to that.
Beto's.
I don't think so. I think it's Taco Bell and Jack in the Box because Taco Bell, you can go and you can be like, yeah, I'd like 10 ranch burritos. Okay, that'll be $10. Heck yeah. Like, I get that. Yeah.
I
And
can
I can
get
see
that.
that
Yeah.
being Jack in the Box where it's like, oh my gosh, there's like this thing and it's got like cheese and a bunch of other stuff and I don't really understand, but yes, I want it. I understand that too. Because there's like 90 things on the freaking menu. So when I went, I was like, do I want breakfast? Do I want a burrito? Do I want a taco? Do I want a burger? Do I want. I don't know. I'm only here because I was driving past it and thought to myself, I don't want to cook. I'll give this a try. What's the worst that's going to happen? It's. I really thought it was pretty good. It if I had my choice, right? If I was back in Utah, would I choose Jack in the Box? No.
Is there one that you're missing?
On overrated or just good?
Just in general, is there one that you're like, oh man, I wish I could just get that?
Carl's Jr.
Okay, okay.
Carl's Jr. is the best burger of chain restaurant,
It's really
without
good.
a doubt. Like
It's really good.
Carl's Jr., the rest of them, like
Have you been to Freddy's? I actually really like Freddy's too.
I haven't been to Freddy's. I've been to Culver's. I think it's super overrated. Was not
I agree.
super impressed with their burger. Yeah, their concrete shake thing was pretty good, but
It's
you had
like
to wait in a line for like 30 minutes just to get it. So, yeah. Um, Wendy's is a good burger. Like they're
Wendy's is
all
good.
good burgers. Burger King has a good burger. I think Burger King is saved because its fries are better than most, and their shakes are actually pretty good. So like I don't have any hate towards Jack in the Box, but like my all-time favorite burger from any place is from the Burger Den. It's the bourbon burger. I don't know if you actually ever tried it. I highly recommended that you did.
I did try it. It was very good.
It was very,
Like
very good.
very, very, very good.
My
For
second
real.
favorite burger is Carl's Jr.'s breakfast burger.
It's amazing. Like
It is
ridiculously tasty.
so good. And nowhere else makes any like the same thing. Like
No, no, they
Wendy's
don't.
doesn't have its version of a breakfast burger, which is a shame because they should. Everywhere should have the version of this burger because it's so good. Um,
Hmm?
but I
I'm
am
surprised
missing
no one
that.
else has copied it. Actually, I'm a little surprised by that. Because
Me
yeah,
too.
there's nowhere else you can get it.
Yeah, it's
And it's like
so good.
Wendy or McDonald's has their little hash brown things. They could just put that on a burger. Wendy's does. Basically, everyone does.
Yeah, they could. They don't. It is what it is. I really like Carl's Jr.'s breakfast burger. And
Anyway.
the other thing that I'm missing the most is fry sauce.
Okay.
Like, fry sauce is such a good condiment for fries. It is aptly named. The
It
rest of the
is.
world needs to adopt it when you have fries on the menu because ketchup just is not as good. It is fine for somebody who has never tasted fry sauce, but fry sauce is fantastic.
It is
It
just
is what
one of
makes fries enjoyable to me because I
one of the
just
thing
am not a fry person.
one of the things that makes In and Out go down on my list is that they don't have fry sauce, and they really should just get fry sauce. It would help their fries immensely.
Nothing is going to save those garbage fries. They're the worst of all the above. They're not seasoned. They're mushy. They're not like real potato. Like,
They are real potatoes.
don't taste like it. They taste like garbage. I hate their fries. They're truly, truly terrible. And to anybody who might come at me and be like, you gotta have the monster style? No, I don't. I don't need their fake ass cheese on their fake ass fries to make them redeemable. They're not. They're terrible. In and Out should die. They are number 2 on my most overrated list of all time.
What's your number 3?
Oh, I don't know. Subway.
Okay, interesting. I like Subway. I do. I like Subway.
Subway is only there for me when nothing else is open.
Interesting.
Right? Like I would get Subway on my way to work when I was working Graves because literally every other sandwich shop was closed. I would rather Jimmy John's and I would way, way, way rather Firehouse subs.
I would too, but those are also both way quite a bit more expensive. Where you can get a foot long sandwich for $6-7 at Subway.
15.
I've literally done $6-7 subs, sometimes 8. And
They're like $12 now.
I just had a Subway sandwich like 2-3 months ago, and I spent like $8. I know I did.
I don't know what you got, but I get the ultimate BMT and it's like $12. And I
Okay.
add tomatoes, cucumber, and mayo. I don't do anything special to it.
Interesting. Yeah, I know
And
that I did this.
Firehouse Subs is like $12.
Yeah, it's about
Yeah,
that much. And Firehouse is
it's not a
better.
foot long. It's not
It's
a
a
foot
smaller
long, I fully
sandwich.
admit. It's an 8-inch sub, but the quality is so much better.
It's way better. It is for sure.
Way better.
It
So,
is.
yeah, I
Get
would put
2 foot
Subway.
longs for $12.99. That's only an app purchase, but still you can do it.
Is it just one ingredient on that sandwich?
No, it's a couple of their normal sandwiches.
Okay.
Like I think there are some that are a little bit cheaper. That's why I like Subway, is because I've went and had it be fairly reasonable. But Firehouse is better. Like there's no doubt. Firehouse is way, way, way better.
Yeah. Um. So yeah, I would put Subway as my number 3.
Okay.
Yeah. It's also like really funny to me that their whole campaign that made them the biggest restaurant in the world was eat healthy.
Yeah.
And then like 6 months ago, they were like, hey, so because you guys are getting fat, we just wanted to tell you that not one person is supposed to eat this entire sandwich.
And they've been
Yeah.
sued for all sorts of stuff. Like their tuna was completely fake. I don't even know what was in it, but they got sued for it. It's pretty nasty, to be honest. It's pretty nasty.
Okay, let's move on though. Please let us know what you guys think. I don't put Panda on my list at all because even though I agree with Conlin's point that there is a better, cheaper, more quantity option everywhere, I just don't hate it. Like it's good. I don't have any problem with somebody saying, "Let's go to Panda." Like, sure, I like Panda. Whatever. I don't
But
think I'll
wouldn't you
choose to
just
go
say
there, but
when somebody says let's go to Panda, wouldn't you be like, hey, let's look online and see if there's any other Chinese place? Oh, there is. Let's go there.
I don't think any other Chinese place is better.
Maybe that's an exaggeration, but most are.
I
Most
think
are
that's
better.
true if you are like more into the tech, like more authentic Chinese food. But a lot of more authentic Chinese food is too spicy for me.
But you can get lower spiced options. I mean, other places have orange chicken or sweet and sour.
Yes, but they're all spicy. Don't
But
don't look at me like that. They are all marked spicy. Go to any Chinese restaurant and they're all marked spicy. Go to Panda
but
Express. It's not
aren't there options that aren't spicy that are still delicious?
sometimes not.
Oh, I think always, but I don't. My spice level isn't the same as yours. So
No, it's not. We went to that pineapple whatever in Utah, known for its spice.
yeah,
I got a level 1 and I was dying as much as you who got a level 4.
yeah,
By the way,
it's
they
different.
wouldn't let me choose less than a level 1.
Nope, it was just a one. They're like it was a Thai place, right? Was it Thai? It was Thai.
Yeah, it was Thai. Yeah. It's called pineapple something, but
Yeah.
anyway, I have zero tolerance for spice, and a lot of more authentic Chinese places are more spicy. That's just what it
Okay.
is.
Okay.
And so like I'm not opposed to going to Panda. Plus like it's good. It's fine. Yeah. I really like their orange chicken. It's good.
Everyone likes their orange chicken. But you know who has better
Good.
orange chicken? Everybody.
No, not everybody, because a
Not
lot of other
everybody.
people's orange chicken is trying to kill me, cause a heart attack.
Uh,
Okay, let's move on. Let us know what you think,
okay.
Clint.
All right. So we're gonna change things up just a little bit. I read a book called The Precipice, and it's an Oxford professor, and he goes into the statistic possibilities of world-ending events that would end civilization and society. It's a very interesting book. And he goes through his reasoning for why he's giving the percentages to each one of these things that he is and how we can deal with them. The couple things that stood out to me the most in this book are, one, he is an environmentalist, but I felt like he tried to be really fair with the information, and he gave it about a 1 in 1,000 chance. I didn't really understand why environmentalists freak out the way that they do, because we know that the world has been significantly hotter than it is, and all it did was make more plant life for the world to thrive on. But there's this greenhouse effect where you don't really ever have a cooling, so it just gets overly hot, and they think that might be what happened with Mars. I believe it was Mars that caused the death of the planet, which is interesting. I don't know if that'll actually happen, and he gave it a fairly small possibility too, but he equated that to the fact that we have so many green initiatives that are going forward, so somebody's going to figure it out, so the likely cascade won't happen. The other one that I found really interesting was volcano research, super volcanoes. And when they're doing this research, it actually causes buildup in pressure for these areas. So you research something like the Yellowstone caldera, and it causes reactions within the earth, and if they do too much of this research in an improper way, you could actually lead to an eruption. And these eruptions of this size would cover most of the United States in 4 feet of ash, and then nothing is growing, the sun is blotted out, animals die, vegetation dies, and human beings mostly are wiped out. It was an interesting how he dug into this aspect of what could have destroyed us. The two options that he put the highest probability for were AI, which I think felt a little bit overdoomed. And then the other one was researching into diseases, because we know that a couple of diseases have escaped from these what are they called? 4th level detainment places where they studied the disease. And they're doing more and more research without building more and more safeguards for these leaks. And if something that is truly deadly gets out, it could cause major, major, major issues and shut down the global hemisphere. So he brings up these possibilities, and this is a 1 in 10 that he thinks we could end human civilization within the next 100 years based on disease research. So he brings up different possibilities for how we could increase the detainment, these facilities' security, so that we don't have things escape and we don't actually risk the end of human life. He also brings up how much money we are putting into the research of the deadly part of things, but we're not putting into the research of being able to counteract and safeguard humanity. It was a really interesting book. It opened my eyes to a lot of different things. And if you're interested in that kind of thing, I would give it a shot. It's a worthwhile read.
I will not be rating that. What would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10?
In 2020, when it first came out, probably a solid 8. Now I would drop it to a 9, because AI has developed a lot, and it feels like that whole section of the book weirdly feels
to a 9.
old. I would drop it to an 8. Did I say drop it to a 9? Drop it to an 8.
You said you would rate it as an 8, but you would drop it to a 9.
Oh, I would have rated it as a 9, and I would drop it to an 8.
Okay.
Maybe just below an 8, right around there. Okay. But interesting book.
I'm glad you liked it.
All right, now what is your next one?
All right, I want to talk about Psychonauts 2. This is going to be a very quick topic, because I would hate for it to go longer than I've actually played the game, which is 23 minutes. And I will not be going back to this game ever.
Why? I've heard really, really good things. I've honestly been interested to try this game.
I believe you're the one that bought it for our Steam library.
Yeah.
So I was like, I've heard about this game. I don't quite know where, but I'm gonna give it a try. And the villain is a unlicensed dentist, and they play in his mind, and so everything is teeth and mouth themed,
Oh, okay.
which is fine. I don't have a problem with it, but the doors are teeth that are zippered together,
Okay.
and it made me feel so grossed out and uncomfortable. I turned the game off.
Interesting.
I
Why
was
do you
like,
think that made you so like, yeah?
well, the whole thing is just like teeth and mouths are just gross places. But the idea of interlocking your teeth like that is very uncomfortable. Like, that's just
Yeah.
something that makes you feel uncomfortable when you hear it.
Yeah.
Like, for me, another one is when people sharpen their forks with their teeth. You know, when you
Yeah.
sing, I'm like, oh, 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 don't do that ever again around me. That is horrible. But just witnessing these teeth just like zipper together, I was like, oh, ah, I don't, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. It is not worth playing this game to go through. There are enough of these 3D platformer games that I have yet to play that I should play. So I'm not going to play this anymore. I'm done.
Okay. I'll play it and give you guys a review of what I think because I'm interested in that. Wouldn't bug me as much as it sounds like it bugged you.
There's just certain things like the sound of a fork on a plate or on like on people's teeth are just one of those things that just like really get to me. I don't know why. I've got no reason for it. It's not my teeth. What do I care? But I just hate that sound so freaking much. And the idea of this, like interlocking teeth, is horrifying to me. I mean, it could be worse. It could be feet. I'm a big, like, feet are the worst things in the world. But I really, really don't like teeth. I really hate dentists. I think a lot of them are scam artists. Um, yeah,
Yeah, I've never had a teeth problem. I don't know if there's anything where it's a sound that just I can't handle. Besides like a really, really, really whiny woman with a New Yorker accent. I do not like that. I don't like that at all. Like the girl from Friends, she drives me absolutely nuts. I hate her. I hate her.
they.
That I don't
Oh
like.
my god! No,
Yes, I hate it. That show literally gets a worse score for me because of her. I hate it. But that's the only thing I can really think of.
nails on a chalkboard.
I don't like it, but it's not like the worst thing ever. There's times it doesn't happen all the time, but sometimes people doing like that thing will bug me, but it's only certain times. Most of the time, I just kind of tune it out. Not a big deal.
No.
Uh, Sometimes crying babies are terrible, but most of the time I can just tune it out. I don't know.
Yeah, I think my biggest one is the on your teeth.
It's just
Like you
terrible.
can hear it go sing. I'm like, that is your teeth. That is horrifying. Eat your food like a normal person. Um, it really bothers me. I I don't
Just
really
hate
get
it.
it. I would rather somebody eat like this in front of me than somebody who is constantly doing that.
Interesting. Interesting. All right, man. Let's do you do one more.
Okay. This should be another quick one. Delta Force has returned. This is an old IP. It wasn't a very big one. It wasn't a super popular one. It was another Call of Duty, Medal of Honor like first person shooter game. But this one was rated T and not M. so I could get my friend Steven to play it with me.
That's cool.
Uh, it was a little bit more tactical than Call of Duty, but not so much more tactical like the Rainbow Six games, which for me as a child were just way so complicated. It wasn't worth playing them. Um, but this came back, and I like it. It's a good game. It looks good. It's fun to play. Uh, I'm just not a big multiplayer kind of person. Um, it's definitely got the game mode that is my style. So in Battlefield 1, there was a multiplayer game called, I don't remember, but you have different zones and you have attacking and defending. And it was 25 on 25, and you would attack till you capture the points, and then they would have to retreat and defend. And you had to get 3 sectors, or they had to defend to the last sector until the time ran out. And I loved that. I played the heck out of it. I was one of those really irritating World War I snipers that was arcing my shot across the map. That's how good I
That's
got at
pretty
that
cool.
game.
That's pretty
And
cool.
this has the exact same game mode. You have attacking and defending teams. You have to capture the 3 sectors, and they have to try and defend the 3 sectors. If one sector is remaining when the time runs out, it's good. Um, I'm just not really like super into it, so I probably won't play it a ton. But I will keep this game downloaded because if some people want to hop on and play Delta Force, I would be totally down. This would be this is a pretty good game to play by myself. It would be way cool to play with a squad of people.
Cool. Cool.
They have different roles to play as. They have like the medic and the sniper and the sort of kind of like try and make that cohesive. It would be it would be a good time.
That would be a ton of fun. That would be awesome. With how much you like Hell Let Loose, does that make you want to go play Rainbow Six more?
No.
No? Okay.
So I have Delta Force now, and Delta Force is free.
Okay. Cool.
Anybody can get it and play it. It's literally free. Anybody can play it. I have Helldivers, and I have Hell Let Loose. And Hell Let Loose is just way more intense than this game is.
Yeah.
So if I was like more in the mood for something more serious, then I would play Hell Let Loose. Because Hell Let Loose, we could actually be in a squad, and they do the communication thing that's really cool, and they have somebody who's trying to play the general of the thing and trying to be all tactical and manage supplies. And I can be a spotter in a tank, and I can be like, enemy over there, and you can be the gunner, and we could have a driver. And it's definitely just a different kind of feeling of a game. And Hell Let Loose is still probably my favorite because that one is way more integral and way more promotes communication between your squad.
Hmm.
And I like that a lot, particularly when you're playing in a tank squad, because you literally have somebody be like, boom, spotted right over there, and you have somebody else who's playing the gunner who has to turn and shoot, and you have a driver who can't see anything because he's looking out of a little window. So your spotter is like forward, backwards, take over the. So you're all communicating with each other. The gunner has to
That's cool.
reload, and like it's way more like everybody needs a reason to talk, so everybody is talking and communicating. And
That's
then the
really cool.
spotter is also usually like the squad leader, so they're talking to other squad leaders and like, where do we need our tank at? Oh, well, we're pushing this point, or oh, we're defending this point. Oh, tank spotted way over here, so we need to get over here so we can flank them and all that kind of stuff. So Hell Let Loose is my favorite, and I wish that my group of friends would play it more. But I've got Hell Let Loose for like 45 minutes of really cool, intricate team play. I've got Delta Squad for 30 minutes of Call of Duty cooperative funness for free. And I've got Helldivers for 20 minutes of cooperative funness well, everybody really has it, so. Yeah, it just whatever anybody else is playing, that's going to be what I'm going to be playing,
Cool,
which
cool.
will mostly be Hell Divers, then Hell Let Loose, then this one, because I don't actually know anybody currently that's playing this one. But I've had fun with it. It's pretty good. It would be better with a group, but yeah,
Sounds fun.
yeah.
Sounds fun.
I really like Hell Let Loose though, a lot.
Yeah, I need to play it.
Yeah,
I bought it. I haven't played it once. I've even logged
yeah,
into it.
yeah.
Um,
We should play it.
yeah, we should. We should. All right. My last topic. I watched the first season of This Is Us, and I would not have watched this show if you had not recommended it. I've started this show before, and the first 20 minutes of this show are unbelievably cringe, and I have never gotten through the first 20 minutes. After the first 20 minutes, I actually do like the show. I think it's a good show. It's well written. Um, Kate, I like Kate's story, but the entire time I'm watching it, she has this boyfriend, and I'm like, why in the hell is this boyfriend staying with this girl? She is so damaged. She's like a walking giant red flag. She is a red flag extraordinaire, and this guy has just been cheated and had the emotional hell beat out of him by his ex-wife. Why would you stay with Kate? I really don't get it. I don't understand it. Um, Kevin's
How
story
far into the
is
show are you?
just the end of the first season. Yeah, like not super far. Kate's still dealing with that relationship. I know about dad dying. I've learned a little bit about how the mom ended up with the best friend, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
It's yeah, I like it. I really enjoy the mom and dad story. I think that's probably my favorite part of the show. It's really well done, in my
yeah,
opinion. And they do a good job of piecing it together and keeping the mystery alive. It's one of the things I enjoy. Kevin's story is well done. I really don't have any problems with it. I thought the lengths that the his partner in the play goes to teach him to act was interesting, and I could actually buy that that really does happen. A lot of the a lot of the drama in this show doesn't feel like it's just over dramatized. It feels like there could be some reality to it. Even though I was watching the show with Sid, right? And I'm like, okay, what's the most dramatic thing they could possibly do? Well, they could have the mom end up with the best friend. And then right after I say that, the door knocks on the show and they open up the door and it's the mom and the best friend. And I was like, ah. I don't know. I've learned a little bit more about it. I'm interested in where it goes. I like Kate's story with her dad and how she's kind of a daddy's girl and her struggles with her mom. I think that's interesting. I wish she wasn't quite as much of a walking red flag, but it's interesting. Randall has some of my favorite parts in the series and some of the parts where I feel like they're just using him to pander that being black is hard and blah, 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 blah. Um, and the points where he's talking about all the stuff that all the struggles that he's had and how he's had to be great and how he's a little bit different than everybody else and constantly feels different and how that affects who he is when he gets older. Really interesting. The parts where it's just I'm black and I feel picked on are not my thing. It's really interesting how he deals with his dad. I think his name's William, something like that. The dad is an interesting character, and I like how the dad is connected to the mom and the mom's guilt with I've just adopted this child and I can't have this child taken away from me. I already had a child taken away from me, and how that's affected her psychology is really well done. It's an interesting aspect to the show. It's a show that I honestly wish I could change the very start of because I think I could get more guys to watch it. But when you have that first time and you have the pregnant lady dancing and you have the fat lady who can't get on the scale, and it's all just so cringy, and you're like, what the hell is this? It makes it a rough start. But once you get past the start, it's a good show.
Okay. Are you gonna keep watching?
Yeah, I'll keep watching. Do you have a favorite character in the show?
At different times, yeah.
Okay.
At the start of the show in season 1, the dad is my favorite character.
Dad's a good character.
Yeah.
I like the dad. I like, yeah.
Out
Good
of the
character.
siblings, Kevin is always my favorite.
Okay.
I know his character is pretty, surface area at the beginning, but Randall is always my least favorite sibling.
Okay. Interesting, because Kate is by far my least favorite sibling. Absolutely, because she just is red flag extraordinaire, shaking that red flag all over the screen.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I don't want to spoil anything,
Okay.
so I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Fair enough.
Keep updating us though, and as soon as you get to where I stopped or surpass me, I will give my thoughts then.
When did you stop?
End of season 3, beginning of season 4, sometime. There's only 5 seasons,
Interesting.
so I got most of the way through it.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, cool. I'll keep you guys keep you guys posted. All right, man. What is
Please
your
do, because
last?
I'm very
Oh,
excited to share and probably debate you on.
probably. Let's do it. I'm excited too. I'll keep going. I bet I can. Oh, Sydney's leaving. I'm not watching this one without Sydney. It might be a little while before my next update on this show.
That's fine. Just keep us updated. All right, my next topic and final topic is Tales of the Empire. This is the sequel series to Tales of the Jedi. I loved Tales of the Jedi. It was brilliant. I thought it was the perfect way to give lore to the series. And of course, it features my second favorite Star Wars character of all time, Ahsoka, and is just brilliant. This one is called Tales of the Empire. I've watched all but 2 of the episodes. I think there's 6 episodes, 7 episodes.
Something like that.
Yeah. It's not as good as Tales of the Jedi, not even close, but it's still above average Star Wars content.
It is.
So I'm happy with it.
I actually really liked it a lot. Um, the Baroness is a interesting character.
I still just don't love the Inquisitors. I think that's my big problem. Is like there's a part of me that just can't accept the Inquisitors. They're terrible.
They
Rebels is
just don't
better
make
without
sense.
the Inquisitors. Every Star Wars content gets better when they remove the Inquisitors.
The Inquisitors.
Stop bringing them up. Except for that one in Tales of the Jedi. So freaking cool. But that's just because he plays like no role and has a very cool aesthetic.
Yeah. Did you like it in the game?
No,
Jedi. You don't like it in that either?
no.
Okay.
Fallen Order doesn't have them, and it's a better game.
Okay. I have not played Fallen Order yet.
It's so
I
good.
actually, with Tales of the Jedi, liked the Dooku stuff better than I liked the Ahsoka stuff. I love the Dooku stuff
Me too.
in Tales of the Jedi. I think it's great. As far as the Ahsoka stuff, I'd put it pretty comparable to the two Tales of the Empire. They're
Oh, I
pretty
think
even to
it's
me.
better than Tales of the Empire.
Oh, you
Uh,
do? Okay.
yeah. In Tales of the Jedi with Ahsoka, you get her origins, which is kind of like a not necessary kind of episode because she's taken away as a baby. but
Yeah,
it's kind of interesting at the same time. Whatever.
it is.
But it dives a lot more into her psychology of between Clone Wars and Rebels, which I love. And Star Wars little geek in me, it explains where she got her new sabers, her white ones.
What you just,
Which
it
I
is
just
cool. It is
love.
cool.
I'm like, heck yes, I love it. I love that she made it out of the Inquisitor's blades. I just love, love that content. And I love that it's actually honorable to the books instead of everything else Disney is doing, which is garbage.
Which is absolutely terrible when they already have
Yeah,
great storylines. Just do the great storylines, you dummies.
yeah. Stop ruining great characters. If you want to stick in this era, that's fine, but do good to Thrawn. Stop making him a fat douchebag.
Yeah, you have access to all the actors you could possibly want. Get one that can do it and write it well. You have the money. Just do it, you dummies. You dumb
Yeah.
asses.
Yeah. Yep.
Are they? I think they were doing another Tales of the. Is it Tale of the Jedi 2? Is that what they're doing?
I would believe
I
so.
believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Not out yet.
Cool.
I don't know. We will see how that is. Like I said, I love Tales of the Jedi. Like I would put it on par with some of my favorite Clone Wars stuff.
I would too.
I think that this format of just short episodes explaining lore is brilliant. Because, like, if they had to make those Dooku episodes 25 minutes, like the
It
Clone Wars
wouldn't have
episodes
worked
are,
nearly as well.
it wouldn't have worked. You'd be like, oh my gosh, this is so boring. But
But
because it was
instead,
just
it was just
short, like, hey,
fascinating.
we just want to tell you where Dooku, like, what his thought process was and where he was at and why he didn't have the yellow eyes. Great. We also can parallel that with telling Ahsoka's story. Brilliant. Uh, it's that quote. It's not what happens to you; it's how you respond to it that makes you a hero or a villain.
Yeah.
Same thing. Ahsoka chooses one thing. Dooku chooses a different thing. Dooku ends up decapitated. Ahsoka ends up getting shit on by Disney. I don't know which is worse.
Being shit on by Disney.
It's
They
worse, but
decided to take a character that was just kind of fine. Dooku was fine, and they made him more badass. And they took the other character that was badass and decided to take a big old honking, deep,
hey, hold on.
squatty
Time
potty
out.
bullshit
Time
on the
out.
top. What?
Time out. Wait till they release the live action Dooku series before.
Are they doing a live action Dooku series?
No, but they probably will with at the rate they're going. Hey, we have this one last cool character that we haven't ruined yet. In fact, we've made him better. Let's ruin him. That sounds like Disney Star Wars to me.
That does sound like Disney Star Wars. That's,
Yeah.
they've got other cool characters to ruin. They haven't ruined everything yet. They made Maul cooler. They can ruin Maul. They made. Who else did they make cool?
Did you watch that YouTube video I sent you about George Lucas's version of the sequel trilogy
Yeah,
and how Maul was supposed to become the new ruler?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically anything would have been better than what we got.
I wouldn't go that far.
That's true, but there's a lot of things that would have been better than what we got.
You could have
There's a
had Pride
lot.
and Prejudice in Star Wars.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would have been better than what we got.
No, it wouldn't
Yeah,
have been.
it would
If
have
they
been.
made Star Wars Pride and Prejudice, where you take your favorite Star Wars character and it's just them sitting around talking about problems and never actually solving anything,
Would have been better than than
no,
solving it in terrible ways.
nope, nope.
Yep.
I don't
Yep.
think it would have been better.
I think it would
I
have been
really,
better.
really, really, really don't. It would have been easier to ignore.
That's
And
true, which would have been better.
I disagree. Uh, Part of me really enjoys hating on the sequel trilogy because it is so bad. What did you think
It's
of the
terrible.
newest announcement?
What's the newest announcement?
They
I don't
have
know what this is.
officially announced the next trilogy of Star Wars movies.
I didn't actually know that.
Rey is returning, and they're sticking to one director this time.
Oh. I don't think that they should have Ray return because Ray sucks. Just move on to something else. They're doing the Mandalorian Grogu movie.
Simon Kinberg. He has directed X-Men Apocalypse.
Okay, that was pretty good.
Let's see what else is under his belt. Looks like he did quite a Dark Phoenix, X-Men Apocalypse, X-Men Days of Future Past, Last Stand, First Class, and 2015's Fantastic Four.
That one was not very good.
He seems
Last
like to
Stand was
me
good.
like he just has enough of a name to get the job because nobody with a bigger name would have taken the job.
Probably.
That's my guess.
Wait.
But
Star Wars fans
here's my
roast
2 cents.
prequel expand.
Disney,
Yeah,
the only way to save your Star Wars IP is to tell everybody that the sequel trilogy is no longer canon
that's the
and
only
you're
way
going
to
to
do it.
start over with episode 7. That is the only way to save it.
I completely agree. Or go to a completely different time frame. You could do that and have it be good.
You
It's
could
possible.
continue Ray's storyline and have it be good. That is also possible. It's not very likely.
It's not very likely.
But you can take a crappy character and give them a good story
You can.
and continue their story in a good way. It's possible. It's going to be very hard to disassociate with the character you're seeing in this next trilogy with the character that we saw in the previous trilogy. But I still would get rid of the character entirely, and I would go closer to. I don't think I love George Lucas's plan either, though I do think it's much, much, much better than what we got. I would go in a little bit different of a direction, I think, but
I would combine a couple different things. I would actually find a Star Wars YouTube channel. There's a lot of them that have a ton of views. And I would hire that guy to create our base outline for a story because he has been thinking about it his entire freaking life. Give a base
I wouldn't.
outline, expand it out. I would totally do this. I think it'd be great. I've
I
heard
would not
Jedi
at all.
Fan Theory. It's a website. It's a YouTube channel. I mean,
Yeah,
um,
but why hire him? He's already got it laid out and he's put it on his YouTube channel.
you're right. Don't hire the guy. Just steal his idea.
Capitalism.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, he had a great idea for his, and I would just do that. There's too many great ideas out there. Just do that. Same thing with Game of Thrones guy. You've got a million different fan theories, a million of them. Find some that are the top Reddit posts, read it, and steal their ideas and finish your damn book. Just get it done. Come on. That will
Or
never
don't,
happen.
because I don't personally care about that series. But
I like the books. The books are good. The show's not really, but I like the books. Just finish it. Just get it done. You have more,
see,
as an author, you have more ideas than any author has been given in the history of ever. Just finish the book.
but he's at the point now where he's in the same problem Valve is in. No matter what he releases, it's not going to be good enough.
I bet that's true.
No
but at
matter
least it'll
what
be done.
Valve releases as Half-Life 3, it will never be good enough.
Nope, and they will never release it because it will never be good enough. Ever.
Mhm.
Ever, ever, ever. Same. They might do a Portal 3. I don't actually really want a Portal 3, but they could. Uh, they could do a Left 4 Dead 3, but they can't do a Half-Life 3.
I don't think they can do any of them.
I don't think they will do any of them. I think you might be able to do the other two. Maybe.
You could do a Portal game, but
Portal, I feel like, has kind of said what Portal needs to say, and
it
maybe they'll
has,
come
yeah.
up with an idea. But,
Yeah.
yeah. Left 4 Dead, you could do a third one.
They
Just do some
could
new
and
characters.
should, but they're not going to.
I think that they might do it for like a VR game. I could see that being a VR game for them. You don't think so?
No, even if they did go into that universe, they would do it just like Half-Life and call it an offshoot and give it a slightly different name.
Okay. But it'd basically be Half-Life 3 because, I mean, there's no connecting threads really between it's like a Half-Life Alyx. But basically, this one would be different because Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2 really don't have that much connecting fiber. It's pretty much a different game. It's a different game in the same universe. So if they do a Left 4 Dead 3, they have new characters, you have new maps, you have new weapons, you have
I
new zombies, whatever.
still don't think it would be popular enough, especially with like motion controls making people sick in VR. Not to say I wouldn't love it, because I would, but they would need to add teleport, and I think that would steal away from it. And I really don't think that that works. Like, I think you're absolutely right about the witch between Half-Life or Left 4 Dead 1 and Left 4 Dead 2. It's a big difference, and it's an important difference.
Mm.
But they can't go back to the good witch and
No, they
have
can't.
VR.
It wouldn't work.
It wouldn't work.
No, it wouldn't because you can't. You have to like creep around a corner really slowly, and if you just puddle jump to where the witch is, you just get screwed.
I think the exact opposite problem. If they
Really?
have teleport, then you can just puddle jump through the witch.
Oh, and just skip it.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
you're right.
she comes running at you. You just, boop, I'm behind you now.
Boom, boom.
Press my button to turn around really quick. Boom, boom, boom. Puddle jump. Like, that's my problem with it.
I
Is
see.
you would just slingshot her.
I see. Yeah, that makes sense.
No.
Because otherwise, that could be terrifying. Like if you couldn't puddle jump,
If
the
you couldn't
witch
puddle
coming
jump,
at you like that would be freaking terrifying as hell.
yeah, but like 90% of your players wouldn't get to that point
That's true because you'd be sick.
because you'd be sick. Like, it literally makes me sick to do it for like literally 15 seconds. It's
Yeah.
Yeah. So they should just do Half-Life 3. Give us our original witch bat. Give us some more interesting dynamic other monsters to do.
Yeah.
And just be better than Back 4 Blood.
Yeah.
Not a hard thing to do.
I wish Back 4 Blood was better, and I can't tell you why it's not. I still don't know.
Well, here's what I would
It's
do,
not.
right? I would bring back the original witch. I
Yeah.
would bring back some more quiet things because I think my problem with Back 4 Blood is you're just constantly shooting the entire time.
Oh, that's a good point.
And so it doesn't give you a moment to be scared of the witch. Because, like, you can hear her, but you can't see her. And Back 4 Blood, you're just I
All
got
the
my
time.
checkpoint, yay! So you'd give some quieter ones, and then I would implement the hordes from DayZ,
That would be cool.
right? So you
Yeah.
combine those two little things, so you have moments where it's just overwhelming, and there's so many of them. But then you also have these quiet moments where you're just sneaking from point A to point B. And there's a
Trying
reason
not
that
to have an
point B
alarm go
is
off or whatever.
actually safe, which, unlike, Back 4 Blood, there's like no reason zombies aren't there.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
just
there's
going there
no
to be
moments,
there.
and it doesn't give you that ebb and flow and tear. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
That's a lot of the reason why it's not as much fun.
yeah. That's
You
my
don't
theory
build up
anyway,
any kind
but
of tension.
yeah. I mean, I
That's a good
still
point.
like Back for Blood enough. I would still play it if somebody wanted to play it, but like I don't have it downloaded or anything.
Yeah, I liked it good enough too. It just, I, I had a lot of hopes for it. They were not met with that game, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well,
Unfortunately.
that is it. I'm gonna call it for us there. Thank you, anybody, for listening and or watching us. Like, subscribe, chime in, tell us why we're wrong or why we're right. Let us know your most overrated fast food restaurant. Thanks. Bye.
See you guys. Bye.